He announced a new $12 billion aid package to help farmers who are struggling because of his trade war with China.
Yep, it's rinse and repeat time in America again. Now, I'm sure that over the years you have seen some version of this meme circulating where Trump creates a problem. He realizes what he did was unpopular. He takes steps to fix the problem that he created. Then Trump takes credit for fixing the problem. It's like an arsonist that's also a firefighter. And here we go again. This time it's the farmers who need help from Trump's tariff war. And as always, Grandpa Donnie is trying to lie his way out of it. But as always, I brought the receipts to show the truth. And we've got some farmers saying that none of this is going to actually fix anything anyway. So hit subscribe to Really American Media, both here on YouTube, and please go find us on Substack. Because if these farmers need any fertilizer, well, Trump is dishing out bullshit like there's no tomorrow. And for him, who knows? There may not be a tomorrow.
That the United States will be taking a small portion of the hundreds of billions of dollars we receive in tariffs. We are making a lot of money from countries that took advantage of us for years. They took advantage of us like nobody's ever seen. Our deficits are way down because of tariffs. I guess because of the election. Because without the election, you wouldn't have tariffs.
Yeah, please don't remind us that without the last election, we wouldn't have this tariff shit show to deal with, amongst other things. But let's start the fact checking right here, because Fox News propagandist Laura Ingraham posted that clip of Trump on X and said, quote, Trump takes tariff money from abroad and puts 12 billion of it into American agriculture. That's how you put farmers first. No, Laura, it's how you put farmers last. And that post was hit with an immediate community note saying the quote, tariff money does not come from abroad. Tariffs are a tax on Americans and American companies who buy imported goods, as I'm sure all of you know. But the gaslighting is just getting started as Trump went on to blame you-know-who, Biden.
Bankruptcy filings have seen a steep increase this year after years of trending downward. Today, after nearly a year, the president blaming his predecessor for the current issues facing farmers.
In the last year, Biden bankruptcies rose by 55%, having to do with farms. So farm bankruptcies under Joe Biden went up 55%. That's not good.
Well, no, that's not good. And it's also not even close to being true. Let's refer back to that chart that CNN just showed right there so you can see the obviousness of the truth. Bankruptcies were on a steady decline every year that Biden was in office. But in case you don't believe the facts or your own two eyes, let's hear it right from a farmer.
Well, first I want to comment on the president. He said something about all this happened on the Biden administration, which is totally false. Agriculture in this country has been in a complete turbulence and turmoil in this country since the president got elected. He didn't talk about farm suicides, farm bankruptcies, farm foreclosures, are all up under his watch. And I want to remind the president that we're in the position that we're in such a bad, a devastated position in this country because of his tariffs. So I wanted to clean that up from just listening to his comments.
Yeah, and that gentleman right there has a unique perspective on things. His name is John Boyd Jr., and not only does he come from a long line of farmers, he's also the president of the Black Farmers Association, which has over 150,000 members, and he's currently being left out in the cold on all of this. And he thinks the DEI pushback that Trump also created has a little something to do with it.
But this administration has to do better, and it has to do better by making sure that all farmers in this country receive some help, not just certain farmers here that are at the table. Some farmers have to look like me, and, they say all this stuff about DEI and all of these things. None of that takes place on my farm. I had to go out and feed my cows this morning. They didn't ask me what color I was or where I was getting help from. I have to be able to make it and compete out here on the farm like everybody else. It has nothing to do with color, but this administration is leaving us out. When they have meetings at the table, we're not invited. And they say because we have, primarily an organization that represents Black farmers. And I think that's, very appalling in this country.
Yeah, it is appalling. And so is the fact that a lot of MAGA types are ignoring Mr. Boyd because they think he has a certain axe to grind. So let's flip over to MS Now, where Katie Tur had a different farmer on that MAGA cannot hold his ethnicity against. And he was asked about this $12 billion bailout.
$12 billion. How's that sound to you?
Well, I appreciate the help, but it's a far cry from what we need. Just the loss in corn this year with a record crop was over 16 billion. The loss in soybeans at production is around 11 billion. That doesn't count cotton and rice, which are even bigger losses than that.
Yeah, like you just said, it's a far cry from what we need. And as this online comment says, bailing them out with their own money, which is true because we pay the tariffs, just in case I haven't mentioned that, and it's still not enough.
So this $12 billion is not going to make up for this 1 year? I mean, say China goes back to buying soybeans and other crops as they were buying before this trade war. Is $12 billion not enough to bridge that gap?
Probably not. You've got a lot of boys that's got $400,000 to $700,000 worth of rollover debt that's eat their equity up in the last 2.5 years. They don't have anywhere to go. They don't have anything to do. And you've got guys that are not going to take that ground. So if you don't make everybody whole and let everybody stand on their own 2 feet and get off this hamster wheel of government aid, which is what we all want. The taxpayer wants it. We want it. Everybody wants it. You need to square everybody up. Senator Moran even said it was a $40 billion problem. So, I mean, his own senator says $40 billion, and what's he come up with? $12 billion.
Yeah, now, first of all, I completely believe that farmer when he says they don't actually want this bailout. They'd rather just earn their keep the good old-fashioned way. I respect that. But as he said, we're in such a hole with our farmers that we would need $40 billion to fix this right away. But, I mean, come on. Surely our government does not have $40 billion to just give away, right?
$40 billion. That's how much money Donald Trump is sending to bail out Argentina. This president gave $40 billion to another country, all because his wealthy donors like that country's president. Think of how that money could have helped the American people. Republicans swore they'd lower costs, but that was just another lie. Trump's tariffs and pushing up prices on everything from sneakers and auto parts to groceries and strollers. $40 billion for Argentina, not America.
Now, hold on. I thought Trump was the America First president, yet he'll bail out Argentina, which has no direct benefit to any American that isn't a billionaire, all while sending his cronies on TV to flat out fucking lie about all of this.
Another huge win for our farmers following his successful meeting with President Xi in South Korea, where Trump convinced President Xi to continue purchasing or begin purchasing again American soybeans, which is something China wasn't doing under the last administration because they had no respect for our President Biden or for the country at the time.
So Kara Lyon-Levitt just said with a straight face that China wasn't buying soybeans under Biden. Well, that explains a lot. All Biden's fault again. For the fun of it, let's do a quick fact check just so I can show you that she is full of shit again. All right, as you can see here, the only sudden drop in exports to China for soybeans happened in 2018 and again in 2025 when you know who was president, and no, not Biden. And it only makes sense that the Trump regime is lying to us all because they know this is a giant contradiction, as comments online point that out by saying things like, bailing out farmers, isn't that like socialism? No, it's not like socialism. It is socialism. Or if you prefer, you can spin it this way. So the farmers are getting welfare, or farmers voted for Trump and hate socialism. Y'all not appreciating the irony of this? Oh, let me tell you, I appreciate it, and I see it for what it is. Another rinse and repeat with Trump as he causes a problem. He realizes what he did was unpopular. He takes steps to fix the problem that he created. Then Trump takes credit for fixing the problem. So farmers, you do have my sympathies, but since this is what most of you voted for, my sympathies for you are very limited, and I'm very sure that none of you are going to reject this socialism welfare that's about to be handed to you. But since we all do need to eat, this is a problem that has to get addressed. So hopefully the Supreme Court strikes down Trump's tariffs this week and we can all be done with this shit show trade war once and for all. But in the meantime, please like this video, comment below, and get vocal. From the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve podcast, I'm Steve Harness for Really American Media.